I would just like to point out that out of all the notes I have of last session, I remember walking, stealthing into this place. I have no idea what our plan was.
There wasn't one, like, it was a slide. Yeah, like, it was actually, we just slid down.
I just remember us entering the place where the other person might be, but the dragon might be, and we do not have a plan.
We don't have a plan. I do have Pass Without a Trace active, so I mean, that's something.
Yep.
That's a plan. We're perfect.
Okay, so we are in a place now. I'm just realizing you're still on the world map, so I'm going to close all these and take you into.
I only have the dragon open.
The cave.
Our lair map.
Oh, where the dancing Dumbledore is, right?
Yeah.
All right. Tell me if you cannot see.
I have to zoom in though, because Grung is so small. Spunk.
I can see.
Wait, where's Spunk? Spunk is
Yeah,
the
where
same
is
size
Spunk?
as me.
Spunk is
Thank
right
you
here.
for using my name.
There.
There he is.
Are you supposed to be smaller, Spunk?
Yeah, I'm
He's
Little.
ultra size.
Ultra
Little.
size.
Mama
Yeah.
Chody.
There we go.
I think we should all become different amphibians and
Chody
reptiles.
Chody.
I'm an elf. I will be staying as such.
I know you are for now.
All right, so we've gone through a
Yikes.
tunnel slide basically to get into this room, and surrounding you is basically nothing but a handful of hand-woven baskets and some random furs. And then, of course, a hallway ahead of you.
Is
So
there anything in the baskets?
you may check them out. Are you gonna do that?
Yeah, I want to look inside the baskets. What if there's snakes?
Make an investigation check, please.
What do my elf eyes see?
What do we get? 24?
Natural 20 for 24.
Nice.
Nice.
All right.
First roll on the new channel.
You do
Yeah,
find
20 on the 20.
you find a handful of furs that are actually a bit smaller than what you might have normally expected from people your size. So they definitely don't fit you. And oh my gosh, yes, the first roll of us on Nat 20 is a Nat 20.
I said this. Why
It was
weren't you
meant to
listening
be.
to me going like, "Ooh."
I'm sorry, I totally
It was
missed
meant
it.
to be.
The whole
He's busy
bit.
setting the tone, corn
I'm
dog.
still 6
God
miles
damn
into my
it,
own
I
head here.
am the tone.
This is how we do it.
You did say that. I'm very sorry I missed it.
It's fine.
Pay
Guess I
closer
don't have
attention, magic.
It's my first time in a month. I'm nervous.
That's my
They're
secret.
doing great.
That's my secret. I'm always nervous.
There you go. Okay, so yes, furs that are only appropriately sized for smaller people than now.
Peepers.
Peepers.
Little peepers.
And
I'll
a
give
few
furs to
pieces
my
of
peepers.
rations.
Yeah, I'll give some furs to the peepers, the little
It's actually
peepers.
it's actually an average sized peeper. It's,
Yeah, that's what they all say.
I mean, I've had people tell me it's pretty good.
I would like to extend a warm thank you to the welcome that we've received into Nat 20 already, as well as a deeply seated apology.
Don't they make like peeper extensions?
I know they've got peeper pumps, but
So you've got furs and rations in these baskets, Juno.
excellent. I will collect the rations and then, as I said before, give the peepers to the small peepers.
Okay.
Or the furs to the small peepers. There we go. Words are hard.
any peeper pills in there?
You gotta keep your
Yeah,
peeper covered.
Ulta will take a small basket and she will take a book out of Chalice's, or take a page out of Chalice's book and say, it's got a great personality.
Why does the dragon need furs?
I'm guessing these were offerings at some point? If they're in baskets?
I'm
I don't
just
know why it
saying.
needs furs, but
I don't know. I would offer furs to a dragon. I'm not the smartest.
maybe they were
but
like thinking about doing some interior design, and this was carpet swatches. That they were
interior
No.
crocodile alligator.
Well, the offerings that my people brought here. Sometimes people don't get out of the OA fast enough, and it gets cold sometimes when we bring the offerings. So we should hurry the fuck up because you don't want to be a fur on this pedestal.
Fair.
I didn't get the metaphor there.
It wasn't a metaphor. I told you the dragon ate the fucker before they left.
Oh, like he ate them out of the fur.
Yeah,
Oh.
Mhm.
no. A metaphor would be like
I thought you were
Goldilocks
saying,
and the three bears were having a picnic here in the dragon's lair.
I thought it was more about like if you stay here, you are the fur, and I was like, what?
Well, I mean, yes, if you stay here, you will be a fur.
No, but I thought like the people turned into fur, and that's why I was like.
This conversation has gone long enough for us to become a fur on the pedestal in the center of the offering. So
you did say they become the fur.
I did say that. This will.
I am a literal bit of a literalist.
I thought elves were supposed to be smart. I thought you were like
that
me.
is common.
That is not the case.
That is a common misconception.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Big stereotype.
I'm
You should
so
not
sorry to fall
expect that.
into uncommon stereotypes about.
We're wise.
And some might not
Sometimes.
even say that.
Yeah.
We do our best. All right, let's leave.
Mhm.
Aren't we going?
We'll silently just start walking. Yeah.
Yep.
Aren't we leaving inward though? That's not leaving.
We're
It's
leaving,
leaving
this
the
space.
fur room.
I don't know if you can
And going
leave
closer
inward.
to the dragon.
Leaving inward is entering. This is just.
Yeah, but you said leave, and we're
I
going
did
in.
not say a word. This is the first time I've spoken since the fur conversation.
Entry.
So while they're doing that, can I like look for like tracks or something?
Yeah.
Like-
Are you? What are you looking for specifically?
I'm just looking like
magic.
for like for like any type of like foot traffic that might have come through here, like any tracks, any like signs of like people like entering or leaving this room.
Sure. Survival check, please.
Okie dokie.
Also, magic. Don't forget that Valix Dono got us 5 magic items.
Yes. I will be handling that likely on a break.
Cool.
Yeah.
Just wanted to know.
I just saw your message.
Yeah.
Sorry and thank you.
Every time I stop laughing, I scroll up and see a funny message again.
All right, we got a 13 on that.
Yep.
So
You're dead.
everything around you is, you definitely notice like way more pristine of ice even than you're used to. It's not even like super clean ice that's snow dusted or super disturbed or anything along those lines. Everything except the floor, I should say, is almost like glass. But it's so thick that it like fogs and whitens after you see more than a foot or two into it. The floor itself does have a few haphazard scrapes that you actually might realize resemble what Ulta leaves behind when she walks around.
Well, definitely not a shadow.
Too soon.
That was
Too soon.
uncalled for.
It looks like a personal attack. Fine.
It was like,
You know, dragons tend to have a bunch of different people around. Maybe there are other people that live here. I mean, look at these scuff marks. I mean, maybe there's some
Dragons tend to
other
have people
kobolds around.
If dragons tend to have people around, then why do we have to bring the offerings all the time?
Because usually the people that are closest are in charge of getting the treasure to where it's supposed to be.
dragons do have hordes, but is it possible that different dragons hoard different things? Like a horde of servants or people, or a horde of furs instead of like a different kind of riches? Or
Everybody
do they all
make
just want
a
gold?
history or nature check, please. Your choice.
Okie dokie.
They
Is there
both
such
said.
thing
Nature.
Is there such thing as a harem dragon?
Oh my god.
Jesus.
There is
Dirty
now.
20 for me.
Mine was a Where'd it go?
And if that's
I got a 0. Unnatural 1 minus 1. I told you, intelligence is not my thing.
I see rolls for Icarus and Aster.
Did you want us all to roll?
Yeah, he's presenting the question to everyone, so we're just gonna see who knows what.
Actually, look, the 0 was an old roll. I got a 3.
Got it.
why the fuck aren't you rolling dice?
Fucking brilliance. 17.
All right, Aster and Juno. Oh, Spunk,
Oh,
did you roll?
my thing's broken. Hold on. There we go. Shit. 13.
Okay. Juno and Aster, you are very confident in the knowledge that generally dragons overall do like to hoard treasure and precious things, but different varieties of dragons do have their preferences in like types of treasure that they may hoard, and maybe in some cases they branch beyond just valuables and possessions and into aspects of knowledge like books and recorded history of people around them and that sort of thing.
But not furs. Interesting.
Like I said, depending on the size of the hoard, maybe there are some people that are here to move it around. I'm not sure, but it's possible. There are lots of different things that dragons hoard. I mean, some white dragons are known to like take entire ships, which is wild.
There's a phrase I'm uncomfortable with.
I would just now be catching up from being in the last room. I'd be like, I've taken a few minutes to think about it, and I think I spent way too much time stuck on the fact that there were furs. We're in like a tundra. They could not even be the dragons. But like, it definitely took me a few minutes to like get over the fact that they were just random furs.
It happens. We all hyperfixate sometimes.
Just making sure it's in character, not just me.
Oh, I mean, shall we? Anyone have an idea of which way we should go, left or right?
I think we should split the party and search both hallways.
I prefer left.
I'll go right.
Oh no. What
Should
could
we play
possibly go
play
wrong?
rock, paper, scissors and see who goes first to pick our teams?
Can I insight check
I
Spunk?
feel like you guys
Right,
are
can you
even
running
see?
first.
For some bright,
Oh.
for some
Okay.
reason, when I look at your point of view, it's a blank screen.
Oh, I could see the hallway. And like the what they call this feature, dynamic lighting, is working just fine for me.
Okay,
It
this
works
is
perfect.
being weird for me, I guess.
I would like to insight check Spunk or Bright to see if he went right just because I went left.
Sure. Bright, are you trying to hide your feelings on why you decided to take that direction?
Why I decided to go right?
Yes.
No, I'm not hiding anything about this direction.
Okay. Icarus, you're getting a vibe. You're getting a
It's
vibe.
okay. I don't know either way. I'm not that good at that. This is why we roll real dice.
Who is this following me? I have face blindness. I don't know who you are. You have to tell me your name every time you see me.
It's Aster. We'll work on the object
Aster.
permanence thing. It'll be
Okay.
fine.
It's like I said, it's face blindness. You come up to me and I can't tell you apart from the other bipedal monsters walking around. Not that you're a monster, but if it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, I don't know because I have face
I've been
blindness and I
called
don't
worse.
recognize ducks.
It's all right.
Okay, so are we truly splitting?
Guess not.
Yes.
Can
It
we
is.
not?
That's not a leading question. I'm just confirming things.
I
Where's
am going to the
where,
right.
where's the brain cell in our party? Who has it?
Magic.
Everyone stay within 30 feet of me. It helps you hide better. I
Oh,
have
perfect.
passed without
Oh,
a
that's
trace.
right. We're trying to sneak right now. Icarus, we're not.
Yeah.
We're not going away
Just
from
been
Master.
yelling.
Okay.
We've just been yelling
Master's
about
the
first.
leader.
If you want to go left first, I'm okay with this. I thought we were splitting the party so that if half of us die, the other half of us know. Well, at least we can get out of here.
I do think we should split up and look for clues, but for safety, we should not split up and look for clues.
I think I understand what you're trying to say.
Like, if I
Spunk's gonna walk down the left hallway.
Okay.
wait, that's. Oh wait, that is the left. I thought that was the right.
It's stage left.
Okay. I'm gonna
Close
have
enough.
you pause right there,
Oh my
and
God.
anybody who's following can follow.
Okay.
And fields of view that you can see for the players are altered to what they can now see. Those that have dark vision have very limited field of view, with the exception of Juno, who describes her eyeballs as
No.
Just pupils. It's just pupils.
just pupils, black
Oops, all
voids.
pupils.
Oops, all pupils.
Only pupes.
Awesome. So
Only pupils.
Spunk
Not to be confused with
and
Yes.
Ulta, a little bit Icarus, but mostly Spunk and Ulta at this point at the juncture. You can see that the hallway ahead of you curves to the left, and you're not really able to see any detail of anything that's in there.
Okay.
However, to your right, you are able to see. Now this is the part where I have to be. You're seeing what looks like an open chamber, at least as far as you can see. You're not able to see anybody or anything of detail within your field of view.
Okay. Lisa, which one of you is the sneakiest? None of you? None of you are sneaky. Okay.
Wait,
I'll do
Not in
it.
who's-
No,
particular.
I'll do it myself. It's fine.
Oh, that would
I'm
be
fairly
that pro-
sneaky.
That would probably be me. It's my favorite terrain. And I also pass without a trace. So Ulta would stand there as you're asking this, just staring at you.
Okay.
But she would ultimately point to herself and say, I could go.
I've
As
got
you're explaining, Spunk's like working up like something. He's like making weird noises as you're like, it's my favorite terrain. And at the end of you saying all this, he just goes and like fires off like a fat, clear, translucent, gooey, kind of like it starts out as a wad and it expands out as it goes towards you, and slaps and starts to like wrap itself around like a living thing, and the clear translucence kind of like seeps into your skin until it evaporates, kind of like Purell, and you are invisible.
That's cool.
Nice. What ability is this?
I'm just gonna lean
It's a
over to my
spell.
brother.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I'm gonna
Nice.
lean over to my brother and be like, "What the?"
Surprise magic, that's how I cast spells.
I'm here for
I
it.
spit on people.
Ulta's going to stand there for just a second and take in exactly what just happened to them. And
Not a
then
wick of moisture on you right now, by the way. Like
just
it either
completely
soaks in
dry.
or evaporates. It's exactly like Purell. Eventually, it's just gone. There's like a I, for lack of a better phrase, like a minty sunburn. that feeling after you're like done using like hand wash or
Ow.
Purell, and you get that
Yep.
like skin spicy but cold spicy.
Cold skin spicy.
Cold skin
I know
spicy.
exactly what you're saying. I love
Yeah.
it.
It's like that.
I know
feeling.
what you're saying, but I don't like it.
Exactly. I'm in that boat. I'm signing up for that one.
Yeah. So you feel
Ulta's
cold
going
skin
to
spicy.
heavy sigh, and you guys will hear that definitely out loud, and she will start to walk into this space.
So Ulta, you are the invisible one now, right? You're kind of doing recon now.
Yep.
Okay. You can move forward where you'd like.
Alright.
Okay. About there, You look left and you look right, and inside the walls, you can swear that you see several giants just standing and staring at you.
She will get close to a wall
Okay.
and she's not going to tap it or make any noise, but she's going to look intensely to see if they're like blinking or breathing, or if they look frozen.
Okay. No check necessary. Yeah, after a few seconds, you are able to see very clearly that they are indeed frozen within the walls.
Okay.
And here you're able to see about 3. 2 on your left and 1 that was on the right.
She will then come over here this way.
Okay. There you actually see a few kobolds, and I'll shift the player view here for stream. And you're able to hear some tapping, almost like hammers on nails, and scraping, like sort of wood being dragged across hard ground. And these 2 kobolds will like quickly reel around and notice you for a second and just scurry away.
They see me even though I'm invisible?
Oh, they did not. You're invisible. Retcon.
I was gonna say, these motherfuckers does magic.
They have true sight. Oh god.
Invisible. Okay.
They smell the phlegm.
Oh my god.
All right. Yep. So you see these kobolds, and after a few seconds of staying there, you see that they're sort of tending to the walls and floor in some way.
Does it look as though they're adding to or taking away from the ice?
You can make an investigation check. Sorry,
All right.
perception. Perception, not investigation.
Just kidding. Cool.
Roll 20.
I fucking, here it comes.
We've
That's
already
what she
covered
said.
the spectrum now.
Can one of our donos be a reroll?
Yeah, can we just have like $100 reroll?
No, I've already divulged what I'm gonna do with
Damn it.
those donations. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
really hard for you to tell. It's actually pretty fitting because it's right at the edge of your vision, these 2. So it's really
Yes.
hard to tell what actually they're doing.
So she's going to head back over to this spot here, look back up at the giants and look around, and she's going to very lightly tap on the glass.
Okay.
Just like a maybe even like with the tip of the wand that she has.
Okay. Can you make another perception check, please? Nice.
All right, I'll take that one.
Okay. 0 reaction to the tapping. And being this close and like more intentionally checking them out, you are able to see that all of them have different variations of wounds showing. Some are slashes, some are just like holes like in their appendages and maybe in the chest and torso. Others are more like burns and everything in between, and they're
Okay.
just plopped in these places in a very actionless sort of display.
Okay. She's going to tippy tap, tip, 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 tip. And you guys will hear tiny little Ulta feet run past you all. And she's going to go just as a jaunt down this way.
Okay, I'll have you pause there. The rest of you, Ulta, were you being intentionally loud about going past them? Be honest.
Probably.
Okay.
So that they would know she was there.
Okay. The rest of you, what are you doing for this minute or so?
While she's in there, Spunk's just gonna go like sit in the corner and wait. He'll probably even squeeze into this little crevice right down here.
Esther's probably like as close to the opening as she can be, just so like she can't see Ulta, but like on the off chance that she's close enough to be in range of Pass Without a Trace, she's like trying to use the shadows to her advantage.
How high are the ceilings here, by the way?
Something I should have known at first.
How high are the ceilings in here, by the way?
Why do we not say?
You could just make it up. I'll believe you. You could lie to me.
Yeah. For the sake of moving it forward until I find the actual answer, we're going to say 20 feet high.
Okay, I'm probably gonna... Spunk is gonna start just padding up the wall until he reaches the ceiling. He's got
I was right, it is 20 feet.
Fuck yeah.
Look at you.
Sorry, I totally interrupted you.
No, it's fine. God, ADHD. He's gonna get to the ceiling and hold on to the stalactites. He's got a mimicked pair of boots of spider climb, so they just make his feet extra like grippy and gluey. And each little like toe pad as he like puts sand on the wall, like each one that releases, you just hear like a little every time they like pop off.
Okay. You will all notice, I'm just realizing how far your vision actually is. So you will all be able to notice starting about here, like at the actual fork and beyond, and ending a little bit at like this juncture to these walls, is a whole intricate interweaving of carvings in the ice, draconic imagery, pillars, filigrees, buttresses, leering dragon faces, and other very decorative flourishes just carved into the ice. And this is not like a stickman drawing like little carvings. This is very intricate, like mural-esque. Clearly took a lot of time to do carvings in the walls, and it's constant. Remember how earlier I said it was like completely clean slate sheet of ice? It is the exact opposite with this. And Spunk, that's all you're gonna see / notice at this point. Ulta, let's look at what you can see. Another fork. This one goes 3 different ways instead of 2. There is not much you're really able to see right offhand as far as details go beyond just more of these carvings within the walls.
She will jump to this first one here and poke her head in.
Okay.
She's just getting a lay of the land across the board, what goes where. She's not trying to memorize too much. She's just trying to get a good idea so she can pass along info.
Okay, and Bright, for my sake, how long does this spell last?
Invisibility?
Yes.
I think like an hour. Hold on. Yeah, lasts for an hour.
Okay. Okay, here, Ulta, you are able to see more of a chamber rather than a hallway that is mostly empty, except for a few bundles of rolled up, essentially skins, like the fur without the fur, and a ladder descending from a chute above. That would be this. Lost my spot. Okay, so that's in what looks to you like about the center of the room, and then a bed of piled furs has been arranged just at the edge of your vision in the southwest, and you can hear loud coughing from that direction, and you actually see someone who looks very much like the tribal warriors that you had met the day before.
Unmuted. Fuck me. Oh, unmuted. So she will quickly run out of there and over to this one across.
Okay. And here we see invisibility makes it fun for the DM to keep scrolling back and forth between shit. All right. A bizarre sight greets you in this rough-walled chamber. About a few giant toads with thick mottled white hides are at work here, scribing strange writing into the ice of the walls or onto weathered parchment and stone tablets. You can see at least one sort of reading a piece of parchment and then like going back and forth between the parchment and like actively chiseling something into the walls.
All right, she's gonna take that in, and then she's gonna take her last jaunt down this hallway, the middle hallway, all the way down until it ends. And fearing that she's going too far without her compatriots, she will see what I'm assuming is just another fork in the road. If she's here.
Yep. At that point, all you can see is another fork in the road. However, you do notice that the elevation is changing.
Is it going down?
It is going up. It's getting smaller.
Okay.
The ceiling to floor is getting smaller. The width of the walls is exactly what you see on the map.
Okay. And both of these areas are doing that, or only one of them?
Just the one that you're in right now.
Okay. All right. So she will.
Oh,
make it
sorry.
her way downtown.
By both of these areas, did you mean both sides of the fork?
Yeah.
Yes, both sides of the fork are doing that.
Okay. She's make her way downtown, walking fast. And she's going to, and apparently my computer doesn't want to do this any faster. She's going to rejoin the group, and she will stand as close to Juno as possible, and just go, psst.
Yes.
Juno, let's have you roll for funsies. I need to look at you real quick. Yeah, let's have you roll Constitution. Nah, Wisdom. Wisdom.
Just a regular wisdom roll.
Yeah, Wisdom check.
Wisdom check.
All right, you are startled.
Guess.
So just FYI, I don't know where Spunk went, but when he spits like that,
I just point up to where I saw Spunk. Too.
very helpful, very good. Thank you for that. And she's not saying this much above a whisper. And then she will go on to explain everything that she saw, including like the kobolds attending to the ice, the different giants within the ice. She will explain that she saw multiple paths, and then the chamber with what she believes to be some of the warriors from the previous day, and she'll like kind of like you won't see her do it, but she'll point towards Spunk that I think belongs to some of Spunk's tribe? Question mark? I'm not sure. And then there's some giant toads who are also transcribing things onto stone and into the ice. And then there's more pathways up.
Should we help Spunk's tribe folk?
I'm going to take a quick moment to interject. Juno, I just saw that you moved across this area as well, and you are able to see, you specifically are able to see into that chamber.
Shit ton
as
of
you
kobolds?
do. Yeah.
Yeah.
You see a bunch of kobolds.
There's a number 7!
Is there really?
There's a number 7 that's like in the middle of the floor. I was just guessing that that's probably like a room number to help you remember notes.
That is, but it shouldn't be visible.
Nope.
And this is a player view, so that's strange. Let's fix that. Yep, it is on the wrong layer. That was not my fault. Came like that. Okay, so yeah, as you pass this, you're able to see a whole bunch of kobolds hammer chiseling away at the walls. And
are they the ones who have done like the art throughout here?
You're able to see enough that you see that they're working on very similar sort of muraling and artwork in this chamber.
Sick.
You also
talented kobolds.
You also easily notice that they don't notice any of you. And
yeah, we're hella stealthy.
You do
So
also
sneaky.
see a lot, like even just passing that hallway to the chamber, you're able to see easily a dozen giants frozen in the walls.
Woof.
Hey, anyone that knows Draconic or is much better at it than I am, what do these carvings say?
What do the carvings say, or are they just draconic?
Or like, yeah, like what do
in
they
nature,
mean?
not text.
I speak a little draconic. I can come down and take a look.
Ulta also speaks Draconic.
So those of you who know Draconic are able to see immediately that there are no words or even words or phrases of any kind. This is entirely visual depiction of the things that I described earlier. Or do you want me to repeat them?
These are just pictures for you. Nothing written here. Nothing important. It's just...
Well, some say a picture's worth 1,000 words.
Okay, well, there's no words here. Okay? It's just a picture. So, like, make up your own words for the picture. It's yours.
I'm just wondering, what if part of this hoard is, the enemies that this dragon has defeated?
That would feel like a rather, No, never mind. That makes sense.
Well, we do already know that giants like to attack dragons for a challenge, so it would make sense with the frozen giants.
Let's have
Bodies.
Ulta, because of aspects of your background, let's have you make a history check, please.
Like,
as
because
well
of
as
my background, that
as-
should be with advantage.
as well as the elves, and I will accept the argument for advantage.
What kind of type of check was that?
History.
Oh, perfect. I'm so good at that.
Motherfucker!
Hey,
Roll 20. God fucking shit.
mine was pretty good for me. I got a 15.
You right?
Man. Juno?
I was gonna roll 2.
Yeah. Sorry, I tried to say the elves as well.
Oh, the elves. Sorry. Brain. History? I helped.
All right.
So 3.
Icarus. You're actually recalling some history lessons from
I'm
growing
the
up.
smart one here.
Oh no! Don't let it
It's
get to
funny
his
because
head.
it's usually the other way around.
A broken clock is right twice a day.
True.
You know what? There you go.
I feel like I just
Fucking
got
love
fucked.
that saying.
Oh, that was good.
Icarus, you're
I felt like
you're
a dad
recalling-
saying that.
Yep, dad jokes galore. Icarus, you are recalling legitimately a piece of history that maybe your parents, maybe someone else in your family or in your what is a tribe of elves? I actually don't know off the top of my head. I'm just
village.
A village. Sure, your village elders would recall older conflicts that occurred like continent wide between dragons and giants. So this is a fitting display as a reminder of that sort of history.
No, I mean, it's just like the Great Giant Dragon War. Don't you remember, sister? Come on, tell me I'm not the only one who paid attention in history class.
I don't
'Cause-
think I was there that day.
'Cause I was not paying attention. I think I remember because there was a good graphic in the book, actually. Or maybe I just wrote one of my first songs in that textbook. I don't know. But yeah, there was a war, so this between them, so it seems fitting, you know.
Well, do we move onward? Do we go into either of these rooms with people in them?
I mean, what way but onward? Like, I don't have a better option unless we go all the way down the other tunnel that was left, or right, and we're left.
It's okay. I'll be able to navigate us back. I took the keen mind feat.
It's like
Nice.
I still don't know which side was actually left and which side was actually right. So there's that.
And then the decision was
The last thing that was said in this cave, I believe, was that we're doing what now?
my question exactly.
So Aster and Icarus, we were talking about should we continue forward? I said might as well. And there are 3 other people
Yeah,
who haven't
no.
voted.
No, I suggested, I had already made a suggestion. I would like to note that. I had suggested that we go after the tribespeople.
There was a suggestion,
So
but
don't
not
come
a
looking
decision.
at me. I said it first.
Oh, sorry, I must have just not heard that.
I agree with that part because those are my people over there that are kind of being worked to the. Well, some of them don't have bones per se, but there's a firm cartilage-like substance that they use.
Oh God, why?
Okay, I'm on board for that.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
So what was the final call? Forward, as in left?
Wait,
Yes, we're
Forward as
going
in
to the
left,
room with the
towards
tribes.
the people.
to help the tribes.
The people.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll have you pause here, and you can
Yeet.
go whatever order/arrangement you would like. All right, Juno, front runner.
Oh yeah.
You are able to see confirmation of what Ulta described. However, Ulta was only able to see 2 or 3 or so of these toads. You are able to see more than a dozen.
Yeah.
And they are, just as I described, they are a mix of like drawing things on parchment or etching things into the walls or like looking directly, like referencing a piece of parchment and etching on the wall. Like some are etching by like memory or freehanding, and others are referencing pieces of parchment that are being handed off by other ice toads.
Is there any, like, close to the entrance area, is there anything like any history books or anything like that they could be pulling from that I could possibly look at?
Make an investigation check, please.
Yep.
11.
Do you just always have advantage on investigation?
Investigation and insight, because I'm a nosy bitch.
Nice.
Paladin.
Or also Palad Elf, yeah.
Okay. Let me double check to make sure I'm answering it correctly. No. There, you are not able to really see anything beyond just like the piles of parchment that some of the toads look like they're just kind of pulling a piece off at a time and drawing stuff on, and then the individual pieces that the ones are using to etch on the walls.
I will silently just go 1, 3 toads. Trying to pick up what I've learned from Aster in their druidic speak.
Sure, make a performance
asking
check.
about different animals. Performance.
Don't worry, the DC will be favorable-ish given what you just referenced. Okay.
15.
Spunk.
That's really good for me. I have the charisma of a toad.
Spunk, make a perception check for me, please.
Yeah, okay.
So you're new to the group, so you're new to the attempted methods of communication. Let's see if you pick it up. You do.
20.
All right. All of you are able to pick up on Juno's sort of hand signaling toward you that there are 13 of these toads toiling away.
But I'm still trying to make my way to the tribes folk.
That would be this person who, Juno, you can see is on the ground and injured and coughing at the end of a ladder going up to the ceiling.
Injured, you say? I cast Toll the Dead. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Oh my god.
Or am I?
God.
Kill me. I don't know what to so I'm just gonna continue into here.
Okay.
And just
Yeah, he sees
try to
you.
get their attention.
Spunk, where are you? Are you underneath another person's token?
No, I'm hanging on. From the ceiling right here.
Oh, you are? Okay.
There's a snail taking up my whole image right now because I couldn't find like spider climbs, so I put snail to show.
There you
them
go.
on
That
the
works.
ceiling.
You're slithering on the ceiling.
All
I'm just
right.
leaving like
You're
big gooey
scooting.
handprints behind.
I saw a little snail trail.
There you go.
Yeah. Just like that.
So as you approach Juno, this person's gonna look at you and give you this like death glare and sort of crumple up into his like little pack that's scrambled next to him, and his furs are all ruffled up. He's clearly hurt, but also like just coughing, and is barely able to make out a few words to you that you don't recognize the words per se, but by this time you would recognize it as the very same unique language that Spunk and his people spoke.
Spunk. Spunk.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, yes.
And I will wait for Spunk to sticky their way into this
Oh
cavern.
yeah. Let me get a little closer here. These stalactites are a nightmare to deal with.
Spunk, you're gonna see this guy sort of like trying to get in this like defensive stance, and through the coughs he just hacks up. You recognize that he's saying "stay back" directly to Juno.
Okay. Where the fuck is he? Because I can see most of this room. But...
This
it's the
red
guy in the
token.
middle?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Not you, Google. Fuck off. In the language of the bog people, I'd like to ask him, okay, I'll stay here, but these guys are pretty nice, you know, they could probably put a blanket over that bleeding so we don't have to look at it so much, maybe even fix it. I mean, I don't want to give you hope, but like, are you okay?
Spunk, this is interesting. Let's have you make a history check. It's a pretty low DC because it's relative to the people you've
21.
been with. Oh, that's huge. Okay. After a bit and you know, taking in the space that you're getting into now and starting to talk to this guy, he'll like jolt his look up to you. Clearly, he didn't recognize that you were here because you were on the ceiling until now.
Rocket on the ceiling.
When you spoke to him. And then taking in the environment of this space, and you recognize the ladder. It's like a rope ladder that's just almost free hanging through this hole that goes up. You actually like have a aha moment. This is a quarantine area that your tribe purposely puts people into if they have illnesses that are beyond the healing of the shaman. The fact that he's injured to you would probably indicate that he accidentally fell coming down here. Like, lost grip on the ladder and just hit the ground.
Gotcha. You don't get too close, maybe. You might catch a case of chlamydia.
There it is.
Oh,
there it is.
There's the
There it
fallback.
is.
Oh,
Bringing
I-
that pre-call energy into the stream.
I don't know that one. How's it transmitted?
Oh my god.
It is transmitted through skin contact.
Magic, would I know if
On the tongue.
chlamydia would need like a lesser restoration or a greater restoration kind of situation?
Let's see. Make a history check.
History? What?
Yeah.
Could I do medicine?
Medicine, yes.
Thank you. Shit. So bad.
That's
14.
actually pretty good. You are maybe haven't heard of this specifically, but sounds familiar enough from Spunk's pronunciation that you're fairly confident that lesser restoration could take care of it.
Nice antibiotic.
I will walk over, not giving a fuck, because I'm a cleric, and cast lesser restoration on this being. And maybe a cure wounds at first level while I'm here.
Okay, just don't touch him on the tips. Tip of the nose, tip of the fingers. Tip of the...
All right. He's still gonna have this like sort of stance at you and muttering things that you don't understand in between his coughs. But then you cast your first spell, and he has this moment of like being taken aback, and then clutches his chest and is looking around like. And after a few seconds, realizes that you also healed him and is able to like get onto his feet and stand up, and looks at you, looks at Spunk, and at this time, he's actually gonna recognize you, Spunk. Oh, Chonyana. He said, "Oh, it's you, Spunk."
Do I know you?
And Toma, I know you.
Oh, okay. How? I mean, we know we're from the same place, but like, where did we meet? A very short-term memory. I've only been alive for 12 weeks, so you know.
Monsuna to China cinco.
What do you say about 5?
That happened on accident. This is what I get for improvising made-up languages. Whatever, I'm having fun with it. He said he's seen you working with the shaman, but you had not met.
Oh, okay, yeah, no. Man, I didn't realize it made me into such a celebrity to be working with the only doctor in town. Did you ever learn common? Okay, well, they don't speak the language, so they can't talk to you. So if you were to say anything to them, I can translate for you. And Spunk will translate roughly everything that he's saying and what.
Okay, so he's actually gonna have a moment of like he's clearly thinking. You can see all of you can see this, that like the gears are turning in his head, and then he looks at Juno with like an aha, and just like puts his hands up like this to you with like a little bow and says, "Tank."
He wants you.
I'm the tank.
You got it. And that's what we were looking for.
It's extremely thin, but you would all probably recognize this as a rough attempt at a common thank you.
Oh,
Yep.
yes. Don't worry, Magic. We got it.
We know.
I
You
never
just
know.
got
So I just
smart
gotta-
asses and entire.
And that joke came from one of the
In
ones
case
that
you
didn't eat an
morons
edible.
didn't grasp it,
Yeah,
I'm
gotta-
gonna spell
Case
it
you
out
Oh,
for you.
pander to the cats of chaos in here.
To be fair, my normal jokes are bad, so I went to just smartassery.
Everybody did that. Anywho.
Magic's like, I fucking hate these girls. Just trying to play Dungeons and Dragons, these fucking nerds.
Nah, I love this. This is great.
Swear to God.
I do want to interject that one of the things I love about this table is that we have an awesome mix of like the epic high fantasy story and just the fucking chaos and goofiness and humor and everything in between. I do actually love it, and I would tell you guys if I didn't. So,
Unless you love
anywho.
it, say it back.
Is there another tunnel back here? I haven't even looked. Oh, there is another tunnel back here.
Where are
Asher's
you
just
looking?
like walking around, like as
Oh, to the
just
south
like
there?
walk around as this is going. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. So yes, you are able to see the rest of the chamber now, which is a little bit more furnished, I'll say, than the original description. Since in Juno, I keep forgetting you have just godly vision, so I apologize that I keep forgetting to give you extra
Got
descriptions
these
as you go places.
eyeballs.
Yeah, so Juno, at first coming in here, you're really able to see that this room is like actually furnished very well for people to stay in. It's just that Ulta's vision was very much hindered compared to that when she just peeked in. So she was
Should've
only
given
able to
me
see
all
like
300 feet eyeballs.
so she was at first only really able to see like a few, like a bedroll or two, and then this guy with his mess going on because he fell and got hurt. Aster, you're now able to see that as well, being able to see the majority of the room now. There's a handful of bedrolls all over the place, some of which are tucked into like the corners, as if they're like ready for people to use. A few baskets that are actually, some of them are even overflowing, and you can see poking out like pieces or like tails of fish, and you can tell that, you know, there's food in there. The tunnel to the south, you're not able to see an end to it. What's everybody else doing? I don't want to miss anybody necessarily throughout that whole interaction with
I
the
want to ask, what
translation.
the fuck? Like, what's going on in these caves?
She says,
But
"Que
in a more
carajo?"
Chino-esque way.
She says, "Que carajo?"
He will respond to you, Spunk, in your unique language. that he is in the space for solitude healing. The shaman was not able to help him. But he'll say, as you know, but you may not know, the rule is to stay here. We are not bothered here. We do not bother beyond here. And by here, he would be specifically meaning this room.
I want to respond to him and be like, yeah, but you don't have chlamydia anymore. So you can, like, leave.
Yes, I go home now.
You might want to tell people you don't have chlamydia anymore.
And he will do this sort of like hands together half bow to Juno again a couple times, and then pick up whatever he can strap to his back and strap around his torso and start climbing the ladder.
Oh, just be careful.
Oh, she also wants to know what the fuck.
What the fuck? What?
What Corndog said earlier. She
Like,
wants to
yeah,
know what
like
the
what
fucking
else
deal
is happening here? Like, didn't we come in here and looking for a dragon, but we're quarantining people here? So yeah, there's that question amongst all of what the fuck when I said that earlier. That was like 60 questions combined with like just a question.
Gotcha. He will respond
Like,
before going
Where's
up.
the dragon?
He will say, we have no knowledge of spaces beyond this room. Just over time, they accidentally found this room. This actually goes up to one of the huts, and because they follow the rule that nobody goes beyond this room, and they've apparently been lucky that nobody has bothered them in this room, they just kind of keep the status quo. And it's all been good till this point. So he has no knowledge of anything that goes on outside of here.
He says he doesn't know.
The fuck? Okay. Now I cast Toll the Dead.
Really?
You're
Still
healed.
kidding. No, no.
All right.
Well, I will wave goodbye to them and just cast a little bit of guidance on them so they can actually climb the ladder without falling back here again.
Please.
Because apparently they injured themselves getting in here. So
All right. He will climb the ladder. You'll be able to see, since you're standing right there, he sort of opens a trap door with a heavy creak and a slam going into what looks to you like the inside of a hut with like this rough pieces of wood and ice ceiling, and be on his way, close the door behind him. So we know that there is another pathway going south. We know that there are other pathways going north and west that we have not yet explored. Where would you guys like to go?
Hold on, let me look.
I think she'll communicate to
I
the
thought
other
Aster
group.
was like peeking down.
Yeah, there's this tunnel over here, everybody. I'm not really sure where it goes, but it's here. Might be safer, might not.
God damn it, I always forget your name. Is Owlton Brown still invisible?
Hold on.
Yeah, that one.
She's the only one that has her character name in Zoom.
Oh shit, she does.
Switch that for you.
The rest of us don't.
I
my
totally
gosh.
do. Whatever. Magic, is she's still invisible or what?
It has not been an hour, so, and it is, I can't remember, is that a concentration spell for you, or is it just an hour?
It is.
Okay,
No,
so
it's
as
concentration.
long as you're concentrating, only about 10 minutes, 15 minutes has passed.
Oh shit. Yeah, I haven't dropped the spells, so like if you wanted to, you're still invisible.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know,
I
in
mean,
case someone
Ulta
wants to
will
go.
offer to move forward before all of you.
So the disembodied voice of Ulta is just talking with you guys. Isn't this like the third or fourth time in the campaign that this has happened? That Ulta is the invisible one, just kind of making signs on the walls and talking to you guys still invisible?
Pretty much.
They told me she was
We're
the
very used to
sneakiest.
it.
If
Yes.
somebody else was sneakier, I would have spit on you instead of her. So
Well,
I mean, sure,
Scurry
we'll
past.
be right behind you.
she will scurry and move quickly.
Okay, so Ulta's exploring. I'll have you pause right there for a second.
Okay.
You busted into that room.
this room is busting.
There we go. This one.
This little light of mine.
Okay, in this room, you are able to see a whole slew of dried and frozen fish, whale, seal, walrus, and giant squid. Not consumed. It's not clear who or what it may be for, unless you make an insight check, please.
I've got one guess. It's for our sick friend.
Okay. Ulta, either you do not get the vibe that the villager that you just encountered was lying, but it's difficult for you to realize if he just didn't know that this was here and it is in fact for the people who come down here, or if it's for another purpose. But it is clear that there's a lot of food down here.
Right. She will stick at least one fish into one of her many pockets. And then continue to move through to this down here in this area.
Okay. As you're moving, you're going to feel what is clearly Sunny. Like the second you take your hand out and take one step forward, just like aggressively writhing and flipping around in your pack, and then it just eventually stops. Maybe after like 3 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, she'd like smack it off of the floor or something just to kill it dead fairly quick if it was just like a fish. If it's like a creature, she wouldn't have picked it up. She's not trying to do harm to anything unintentional. She's just trying to get like a snack for later.
Yeah, you, smacking it, you'd end up realizing that it wasn't the fish writhing around. It was Sunny.
Oh, well. All right.
Man, I thought you were being such a dick. I was like, Sonny! It was like when Grogu got punched in the face.
I was under the assumption, listen, my animal heavy. Are you saying that like Sunny's eating the fish? Because that was what I was collecting it for, was to like feed them later, but...
Yeah, they found it right away and went for it.
Okay, cool. All right. Then that takes care of that. And she'll move down. Ulta will move down this way.
Awesome. The rest of you starting to poke on down, you're able to see exactly what I just described before, is this like massive store of food. And Ulta... Yep, you are now able to see a small chamber ahead that has clearly a big 15-foot or so hole in the ground. And then you're just able to start seeing that another outtake goes to this southern direction.
Ulta would announce that before they got too close, in the off chance they wanted to also have her adventure up this way. Do you guys want me to go up here first, or do you want me to continue past the fishing pond?
I vote for past the fishing pond. I need to
Same.
collect some water anyway. 2 birds, 1 stone.
Magic, as we're kind of like continuing through this, could I try to leave like an inconspicuous like marking with whether it be incense or something like that to let us know the way we came? Like just like on some corners, just be like, make a little mark.
Sure. Let's have you make a stealth check for it to basically see how well you're able to be inconspicuous about that.
Sorry, corn dog, you be like what 1 more time?
Okay, noted.
What?
I said, I'm sorry, be like what 1 more time for me?
Oh, I know what you said. No, I don't need to read
We're
that.
children.
Yeah. That's the moral of this episode.
We don't have fun here at all, ever. Anywho.
This is a serious high fantasy campaign.
Oh, I love this table so much. Okay,
Dramatic flourish.
so I will be as clear as I can, Corn Dog. Juno, no matter what, is able to do the thing that you tried to do. This roll is for basically how well you hide it from people other than yourself in the party. So I've noted that roll. And Ulta, you get to this hole in the ground that goes down farther than you can see, and all of you are going to hear a familiar voice in a clearly telepathic sense.
I smell you coming.
Right.
I don't even have to say it that time.
I'll wait. Get it out. Get it out.
Dad, you can't just do this to him.
Fucking hell. There is no way I can choose my words wisely enough to have that not happen.
Approaching. I smell you approaching.
Joe gets it.
Oh, yeah.
You should know better. You should.
Hey, there's a clip for our social media.
Tried to bite as
You,
fast as
you
I
heard
could.
it. You heard it here
The
first,
recap of
folks.
episode 1.
It's smelly.
Just that.
Listen, Saint, there's not one person not busting their gut right now.
Busted their nut.
God damn it.
Inaugural episode. It's just great. Okay.
I'm good now.
Are you sure?
Someone please clip that.
Oh, it's absolutely getting clipped. It's absolutely going on social media. I will fight people for it. Anywho.
I warned you to stay away. She warned you to stay away. Yet you persist.
Sorry, I didn't realize we were still talking. Go ahead.
Why?
Now you may go.
We just wish to speak with you. Why must it be so aggressive or yes or no? There is the gray space, the area of conversation and to learn.
Ooh. Okay, so do you remember in our last session where I had you guys make several persuasion checks and I told you that I was adding them essentially to a pool?
Yeah.
We're going to add to that. So please, Icarus, make another persuasion check.
Okay. Do I trust Roll20 or D&D Beyond to do this for me? Roll20, D&D Beyond, persuasion. 19.
Okay.
I missed with plus 11.
Computer, you lie to me. Here we go. All right, I am putting that in my note. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And you will get a response.
Oh.
Perhaps it may not have to be. Perhaps it may. It seems we shall see either way.
And am I responding vocally or telepathically? Like, is it like a link or just a one way?
You can choose,
Okay.
but you do understand that the communication to you is telepathic.
Okay, I'll respond telepathically if possible. I don't want to yell down these taverns.
Sure.
Especially given that some of us are invisible and just blow cover or whatever. Because we might be hidden from something else if not him. And then I will respond. Also, I just have to say your coat is lovely. Like,
Are you referencing anything?
like
explicitly?
just the crystal coat. Like, I'm just telling him he's beautiful.
Okay.
Just because I think honestly I would think he was beautiful. It's like crystal. It's like crystals, and I'm a very charismatic, like look focused person. I'm just
Yeah, the old donkey from Shrek
Yeah.
approach. I see it.
I will show this again
if
for.
I'm not gonna
for-
fuck him, who will?
It's the dragon.
Get him.
Never heard of that before.
Are we donkey?
Jesus, look at the size of that Adam's apple.
romancing?
I will. Yeah, we're showing this again for our viewers at home because I know
The
we went
meat
through the
man.
recap really fast.
Beat man.
This is the dragon that we are referring to who attacked us on our way in here and told us to
Meaty.
go away.
Did you get some work done in this area right here?
Your crystals were mighty sparkly last we encountered. Like I didn't know the best way to word that, and then I realized that when I said coat.
I think Bright needs to get his shit together.
Oh God.
Ulta, what is your passive perception?
Alton Brown's passive perception is 16.
Okay. This chamber feels far colder than any that you've been in so far. And you can tell by the time you get to this point, maybe a few feet earlier, you would have been able to tell that it's a cold emanating from this pit in the floor that you are now standing at. You need to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Oh man. All right.
Yeah.
DC's
Okay.
gonna be like 29.
This odd, weirdly crafted hook just falls from the ceiling onto a part of the wall right next to you and like awkwardly chunks off a piece of the ice, and all of this small avalanche just absolutely tidals toward the floor. You are able to jump out of the way over here just in
Okay, I
time.
was gonna say. Yeah.
Yep. And so now this space over here is basically completely covered in avalanched ice, I guess is the only way I can put it. And now you're able to see that, checking it out and everything around it, the rest of the walls look pretty stable. And the placement of this hook is like probably intentionally trapped.
I did want to double check, since it's been a while since like our last session. Is this place entirely ice, or is there any crystal? Because we thought the crystal dragon was ice until we realized.
You had not determined that. If you'd like to, you could make an investigation check.
Yeah, I'll try. 7.
Well, when you touch it, it's cold. And it's at least the most pristine ice you've ever seen, especially in like a mass amount like this.
I think like without knowing, I would just assume it was crystal because I'm like, that makes sense. But who knows?
I mean, I'm assuming we also just heard that avalanche from the
Absolutely.
direction that Ulta went, yeah, Aster's like hurrying her ass over
Yeah.
there to make
Okay.
sure like she's all right.
Same.
As I'm
I
like
just-
picking up a little piece of ice.
Yeah, I just didn't want to interrupt Hyacinth.
Sorry.
But as that happened, Ulta would come back to find you guys to tell you. She would not just stand there and like wait. She would return back and explain, there's like this big hook thing. Maybe our dexterous friend on the ceiling could like get around it somehow. Or maybe not. Or maybe this thing just doesn't want us to come any closer. So are we gonna go closer, or
I think we
that's the goal?
He admitted that it might not be fighting might not be the only option, so I feel like that's like progress for us at least. We're getting there a little bit maybe. And we know we need advice from them between the two of them.
We've already gotten here. I mean, it's not really.
Honestly,
I don't think we can give up at this point.
At this point, the dragon feels more reasonable than the actual person we're supposed to meet with. So maybe the dragon's our best bet to get to the information we need from her, because we need the information from her, if I remember correctly.
All right. Well, there's a small path on the other side this direction. I don't know how safe it will be. And maybe we should check for traps first instead of going and then checking for traps after the traps deploy.
Fair enough.
That sounds reasonable.
Slow and steady. We were stealthing anyway, so we're used to that pace.
All right, so onward we go.
Heck yeah, brother.
So, Spunk on the ceiling, you have no problems traversing. And just as a reminder for everyone else, this area to the south/west of the pit is now completely overrun by crumbled ice. But this area is still clear. And Spunk, you find yourself in another split, as well as everybody else trailing behind.
There's another T section.
What's everybody's? Sorry, go ahead, Icarus.
I was gonna just say to the party, would it be bad for us? He spoke telepathically, so we don't know where his voice is coming from. But could we just ask them? Because they seem more open to speaking now. Maybe we could just ask them where they are to communicate.
Perhaps, or this could just be part of a test, I guess, to see if we can even get there.
Yeah, to like earn their respect or something. Or be worthy or something. You never know.
Yeah, well, I think they're starting to trust us a little bit more. I don't think they completely trust us.
Mm-hmm.
Right or left?
What's everybody's passive perceptions?
Oh, 1 and 4.
16.
15.
19.
Spunk, what did you say yours was again?
15.
Okay. Aster and Juno. You are, as you sort of get to this point that Spunk got there first and is like looking left and right and asking you which way to go, you're catching up, and you could swear that you're hearing whispers, and not in your head, but as if like someone was almost right next to you. Whispers of conflict and people being hurt to your east.
Does it feel like a ruse or does it feel real? Like, am I getting the vibe that this is like a magical spell attempting to lure me?
Real.
It's a magical spell attempting to lure you.
Okay.
It's a magical spell attempting to lure you. 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 It's a magical spell att You could make an Arcana check for that.
Why am I so stupid?
Oh no.
Natural
Except you got a
20,
natural 20.
baby!
Yes, second one was a nice.
man.
Nice.
Okay, and it's
Aw,
perfect.
Box of fucking rocks, but right now I'm like, what the fuck is that?
And it's actually perfect that it's you, Juno, because you, at first, like, we'll say, take a glance in the direction that you hear this come from, and first check, you're able to confidently understand that there's like some magical effect happening. You're not getting the vibe that it's necessarily intentional / misleading. You're actually getting the vibe that it's like a sort of after effect of some powerful event. And then you look
like a remnant type.
yeah, like lingering byproduct, I'll say, of some powerful magical event. As if like, how do I want to describe this? You've never really experienced before like a spell. Whenever you've experienced a spell, whether on the receiving end or whether you're casting one yourself, there's always like a beginning, like a way to initiate a magical spell. Then there's the effect that happens, and then like either after a certain amount of time or when you're done casting it, like it's done. This is more like some powerful spell happen, and that's why I'm calling it like a magical event. It's just beyond an individual spell, and for whatever reason, there's like lingering effect from it, as if it was like not clean. Is kind of the best way I can put it. There's like byproduct, like leftover lingering magical effect from whatever happened. And you look over to the east, and you are actually able to see down the hallway that goes south into the east a shipwreck.
Like, what kind of ship?
Juno
Yeah,
sees
like
this.
how big of
Like
a
a
ship
sloop
is
or a
it?
brig or a galleon?
Is it like
Juno,
how
you're
many
only
crew is
you're
it?
only able to see a tiny bit of it,
Pontoon?
and
Just
if
the
you go to
tip?
your view, you can see actually a bit of the shaft, if we're gonna go with that. Okay.
Oh,
You
The front
do-
end, not the back door.
it looks like it's somewhere in the middle.
Shaft in the poop deck.
Jesus Christ, you guys.
It's
Magic, you did this.
I did not do this.
Is it more of like a bromance or like a ship? Like, is it canon?
You know what? I'm not even gonna mention the mast that you see. Fuck.
Oh, it's
Hey,
a massive
tell me about
shaft.
this
doesn't have
boat.
a mighty problem.
Also,
Oh.
Magic, is this east or is it stage east as Brightwood?
It is on the map
Okay.
east. Us looking at the screen, it's on the
Okay.
right. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't see diddly. I mean, I can see some stuff, but
Yeah, that
oh,
little
duh,
bit.
there we go. I had to zoom out a bunch. I did not realize how big this map was.
Yeah, it's way over there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, fuck.
So the rest of you see Juno just kind of meandering along over here.
Yeah, where am I?
Guess we're
I'm
all
going
right.
to walk towards it, transfixed, but I will do the
Slow.
two-finger beckon. I do know that we have to go slow because of our friend on the ceiling, right?
Uh-huh.
Or are we not going slow for you?
Who, me?
Yeah. I don't know what
Oh.
your speed is.
My speed is adequate for a creature my size, okay?
Hopeful.
Why don't you keep your pace and I'll keep mine?
Okay, bye.
I'll have you pause there for a second, Juno. You, for the most part, are able to see to the walls that you can actually see on the map. However, we gotta theater of the mind a little bit. This room is moderately fogged. So for you, like, having clear vision to 300 feet is no longer the case. You have like very foggy vision to 300 feet to the point where you can see outlines of things, but you can't really see detail of anything beyond about 30 feet from your actual line of sight. The rest of you have very fogged vision beyond about 10 feet. So you still have your field of view to your full dark vision length, but that second half plus is very foggy. So just like Juno, basically the latter half of your field of view is incredibly fogged, and all you can really make out is outlines only of what I'm about to describe. So for those of you who have shorter vision, you're able to see again along the walls just as you're getting into like the second half of the tunnel leading into this chamber. Massive creatures frozen into the walls. A giant octopus and something that looks very much like a yeti. That's for the shorter, everyone except Juno. Juno, you're able to see even farther than that, and into the room you can see, now we're beyond things just being frozen into the walls. We're seeing creatures that are encased in crystalline ice, like throughout the room. It's essentially a trophy room. And we're talking about things like the yetis and giant squids that I already mentioned. Behirs? What the fuck is this?
Oh, behirs are so cool. They're like lightning snakes, basically,
yeah,
but they have 6 legs.
That's like my worst nightmare.
Their little horns are cool.
Yeah, so
they're very cool monsters.
Those Remorazes,
nice,
and several other like yetis and absolutely humongous squids. You've fought giant squids. These are easily 3 to 4 times the size of the giant squids that you've seen before. The creatures that are encased in ice in this chamber are massive. But the coup d'etat is, because you've been told about it, this ship. It matches exactly the description of Maccath the Crimson's ship from what you've been told of what your faction leaders and other people keeping track of her were able to see when they tried to scry on her after she came here.
Shit. So she's definitely been here for a while.
Yeah. Do we still hear those whispers?
The whispers were one and done. Juno, okay. What was your question?
So the vibes that I was picking up earlier about like the people screaming and stuff like that, does this feel like these were all kind of frozen into crystals separately, or does it feel like this was part of a grand event?
Ooh. Make an insight check.
Okay. 29.
Okay. Between the first room that had all the giants frozen into the walls and all the carvings and muralesque nature of everything that's been put into the walls beyond the creatures themselves, and now especially this, you're getting a very confident vibe that this is an extremely proud dragon inhabiting this place, who is trying to immortalize their conquests. And the creatures themselves are going to be along the lines of combat that he's had and creatures he's defeated. But you would not be able to glean if it was like he went on conquest for the sake of conquest, or people and things that tried to attack him and he won and now he's putting it on display. Like that sort of spectrum of what is the vibe here, you're not really able to get. But it is clear as day to you that this is witness my glorious victories.
I'm just gonna freak out internally about that. And do kind of like that whistle of disbelief. I can't actually whistle.
Can't do it.
Thank you.
I pretended to.
Something like that. Like the kind of, but in a whistle format. I can't whistle. I played tuba. I'm not whistling.
Oh.
You can try.
No, it's bad.
Okay, that wasn't horrible.
Here we are, just all blowing into our mics like.
Welcome to the show, everybody.
Welcome to the show.
Hello, let's play Dungeons and Dragons.
Well, do you think there's anything to gain from looking closer at the ship?
We could maybe learn more about her. You have an answer without having to talk to her specifically. Possibly.
We could take note of the things that we are most impressed by to speak to their ego.
Possibly. Dragons might have an ego since they're so strong.
We could ask them about their interests, their hobbies.
I think it's fair to assume he's an ego.
Why they
the dragon is-
organized this palace in such a way. Get their thought process behind it.
Their interior decorating decisions.
Speak to their ego.
I forget what we were supposed to learn from her, but if there is a chance that we could, because she seemed angry beyond disbelief, like less rational than the dragon. So if she's so unreachable, maybe we can find her the answer without her.
Oh, I thought we were talking about like these are the dragon's conquests.
No, I'm talking about her ship right now. Like the fact that her ship is here, we can get the answer there instead of talking to her.
We know it's her ship?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Yes.
Just because
I don't even know if like our answer specifically, just to learn in general.
Yeah.
Not sure if there's anything to gain, but may as well take a closer look.
Yeah. I just know we came here with an end goal. I just don't remember what it is, but that's
Well,
like
the dragon horn was called. And
we need to get the person who knows
we also
what
need
that
to,
actually means.
Exactly.
Oh,
and
yeah.
where it is.
That's what it was.
And she's here with this dragon.
The development.
It was for the dragon.
The plot
I just forgot what that
development.
was.
So, Aster, you've been creeping up on the ship here. Is there anything
Yeah.
you're trying to do or observe or find?
Well, first, can I see a name on the ship?
Ooh.
I mean, Aster doesn't really know anything about ships, but like, if anyone has any historical knowledge about ships, like,
Make an investigation check, please.
okay. Oh, I'm not as good at those. It'll be fine. Or, well, 13. That's not horrible.
Okay. You're not able to find a name etched in or displayed anywhere. However, you do notice something odd about this. Looking at the ship and then thinking about the size, essentially, of the hallways and chambers that you've had to come through to get here. Doesn't seem like there's a very good way that the whole thing could be brought here in one piece.
The cavern must have been built around it.
And on that comment, the last thing I was going to say is you actually realize chunks of the ship that seem to have been intentionally broken apart and then put back together.
Oh, never mind. I thought it was a good idea at first.
Well, who knows how long or how far they moved this to put it here. But clearly,
Sorry, go ahead.
but clearly this is important.
And as you're saying that, you're also actually going to see that there is a scattering of a pretty healthy amount of gold and valuables on the deck.
Does it appear to be trapped?
Maybe that's where the dragons started their hoard.
From
Or
where you
something.
are, I'm not going to say you'd be able to tell. But if you'd like to get closer and actually investigate, you may.
I don't want to touch anything. Before checking.
Okay,
But
go ahead
I'll-
and make that
Look around with Aster.
investigation check, yeah. Ulta, is there anything in particular you're doing as you're getting closer here as well?
13.
Ulta's just gonna head, like, seeing where Juno and Aster are heading. She's just heading kind of up closer towards the front of the ship, which I think is called a mast, but I don't know.
Nope.
Nope, that's where the poop deck is.
Nope.
The mast is like the
Nope,
big,
also
the big.
that.
It's the big cloth, the big
Big one in the
blanket,
middle.
the big blanket that they hang from it.
Also
No.
wrong.
It's the stick that holds. It's the stick that holds the blanket, though.
Correct.
There you go.
Thank you.
Much
was-
better.
I made them
Just sit here.
one object in my head.
Okay, she's going to
I
head
can-
towards the bow.
I can hear Saint Faith falling in chat. I can
Is it-
hear
Is
him.
the front of the ship the bow? All right, well, then it might be something that I said and nobody knows really.
Insert nautical term here.
Last time I played a
Yeah.
pirate
It's called the
campaign-
bow, according to Google.
Hey!
Last time
Hell
I played
yeah.
in a pirate campaign, I had an anatomy of a ship picture right in front of me the whole time.
So what
All
is
right.
the poop deck?
It's the back.
Deck that
It's
forms
just
the
a
roof
random
of the
spot at the back.
cabin. Oh, the rear is the aft. All right, never mind. Anyways,
The ass?
aft.
The investigation check, a 13, it does. You're fairly confident that it does not appear to be trapped. But you do have a sense of there's maybe some areas that are a little off from what you're checking out at first. So you're not sure.
How big is the cavern we are in? Is it like huge? Is it like really big?
The ceilings in this area are about 40 feet at this point. And then,
Okay.
you know, the
So not quite big enough for a dragon ambush.
you may test that theory at your convenience.
I'm just like gonna take a look around and keep an eye out while everyone else is investigating, and I'll like keep an eye out because I'm kind of expecting like almost like an ambush now that we've made contact, or like it to be a surprise when we run into them.
Sure. Your passive perception, is it still
Only 16.
16? Okay. Noted. What's everybody doing?
Guess I'm gonna get on the ship.
Okay.
I'll definitely go with my eyes will just be like up and around, you know.
Yeah.
Okay. You are on the ship.
So there's just like coins like scattered around.
Yeah, there doesn't really seem to be any method to the madness that is the scattering of coins and valuables across this.
I guess Aster might, yeah, she's gonna go below deck and see if there's like really like anything, like any like type of like written records anywhere, like even if it's like the captain's quarters too, just like any type of like log or like anything that might denote like what has happened over this course of time the ship was seaworthy.
Okay. Go ahead and make another investigation check, please.
Alrighty. $14.
Okay. You go below deck and shift around some broken pieces of support beams and barrels, and I think safe to say you're being careful about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you do find a small pile of parchment, and by small pile I mean like maybe 8 or 10 sheets of parchment paper. And the second you go beyond just looking, you touch one piece, you're going to physically hear, not telepathically.
That part of my hoard is off limits. Chanto Shu.
That last piece was in Draconic, and those of you who understand Draconic would have understood it to mean attack.
Oh no.
Oh,
What have I done?
You will hear, all of you will hear after a few seconds, pounding footsteps from the entrance that you came into. And after a few more seconds, you will see 2 ice trolls enter the chamber.
No.
And that's where we will pick up at our next session.
Oh, not
Yes.
ice trolls. Oh no.
We were doing so well.
You strolled where?
Oh, bummer.
Not ice trolls.
Where did you
Oh
stroll?
no.
All right. So those of you who were not below deck with Aster, you were just kind of checking things out. Don't know what triggered this, but all of you heard it. All of you heard the voice call this out. All of you heard, and now those of you, well, I guess Juno's the only one who can see the ice trolls, so we'll have to make sure not to meta that too much. But that's where we'll pick up next time in 2 weeks, and we'll